Yeah, so it's like, it's like every man is their own individual.
Do you feel like do you feel like a certain section of black women need to rise up a bit more to empower more black men?
Yeah, we do need black women to empower more.
So what do you feel? So what do you feel like?
You know what I mean? But what they keep doing is that they're talking about money so much. It's like, what the fuck is money?
Why are they so materialistic?
I know. That's what I'm saying. We don't need your money. We don't give a fuck about your success.
Your love.
You get me? You can be successful all you want. That's whatever destiny was set out for you. That's for you. That's cool. We got our own destinies, and sometimes we might meet in that journey. But don't look at my money in my pocket thinking that blah blah blah. Because you know what? A man is most men can be generous, and sometimes we could be overboard, especially when we like someone too much. You get me? And it's, I don't even know why I freaking digressed in the conversation, but it's just one of them ones where like, like a lot of us men, we need that empowerment in us as well, because listen, when we go through like disastrous relationship, you get me, situationships, you get me, we're not the ones, we don't get built up. You get me? More times a woman gets built up. She can find a new man, and the new man's gonna build her up like emotionally, mentally, and whatnot. That's if he even has the time to. You get me? If he doesn't have the time to, then he ain't got the time to. You get me? And same way a man's looking for his own woman, and when he wants to look for his queen, then obviously he wants that woman to, be nurturing to him also. You get me? And not having to look at him like, oh yeah, you need to go get a job because this and that. Like, there's care and time creates a true majesty.
Yeah, bro.
You get me? And when I say Majesty, even though it's not my real name, it's my artist's name, and it's like an emulation of me, trying to be a god on this earth, because I am a god on this earth. Well, I'll say everyone is majestic in their own way, and that's if they activate that in their souls and spirit. You know what I mean? In their mindset. So it's one of them ones where you'd have to speak positive things into people's lives as well, man. Don't bring people down and thinking because you're in your own feelings. That means you let Shaitan take control of your feelings and emotions. And don't get twisted, I'm not perfect either. You get me? I'll be having my own moments in the background, in the dark when no one's looking.
Come on, all of us do,
you
bro.
Feel me?
And I feel like one of the wisest word I've ever heard in this life is nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Because I feel like behind closed doors, I think a lot of us have got, we fight a lot of demons alone. A lot of us, we do a lot of things, behind closed doors when we're by ourselves. And it's like, yeah, man, like that's why I feel like that's the essence of like nobody's perfect, because behind closed doors, if we saw what everybody was doing behind closed doors, I feel like, could you imagine how this world would be? How real people would be?
Hence why Jesus was perfect. Because guess what? He didn't have no woman in his life in terms of marriage or anything like that.
Was Jesus never in
solo dolo mission?
Was Jesus a virgin?
Basically.
Oh shit! I never knew that. No. Oh right. I didn't know that.
Basically.
So hold on. Jesus was a virgin, yeah, and his mother was Mary, right? And she was the Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
And fuck it. Yeah. Let me keep my mouth shut.
Yeah. We said something that people didn't even think about.
That is crazy.
But obviously, that's a whole nother debate for something different.
I was gonna say,
you get me? Because obviously, don't get twisted. I'm not like, I'm still learning, innit?
People got to think of who Jesus was. He weren't a man as what you're thinking.
Exactly.
He was something totally different.
Yeah.
Which is why he moved the way he moved.
Okay.
But people don't look into that.
Yeah.
Because
they think, his own people murdered him. No, he orchestrated his own exit out. Because he was God incarnated as man. And when he came as man, he wanted to show us how it's done and what the mission is. Clearly, a lot of us can't do it like that. We can't do it like that. There's power in what he was doing. You get me? To the point where you can resurrect yourself back.
Shit.
You get me? But that's something that people don't, these things happen, but some people might think, oh, you're chatting rubbish. But then, you know what I mean? Go to Africa and see what happens over there. Because there's people like, for example, in scriptures, like you had the Moses, you had Josephat, you had Joseph, you had Joshua, you had Jesus. There's people out here that are like those people too. Out here right now. You get me? Including myself. And whatnot. So whichever one, I could be the King David or King Solomon of today's generation, or the Jesus of this generation. You wouldn't even know that. You get me? That's why it's like, for example, now when I break it down with like biblical scriptures, you had like and because I'm a hip hop artist, you had like your Tupac and your Biggies. You get me? And the way I look at it is like Biggie was like a representation of like, you get me? The dark side of things, you get me, and of whatever biblical story. And then Pac, he was like putting that bandana on as if he was the Christ of, you know what I mean, the hip hop scene, you know what I mean. But it was like a what do you call it? It was like another emulation.
Yeah, they're like yin and yang.
Yeah.
These days, nobody wants to die for the people.
Nobody wants to die for the
We don't have, like we said before, these days, and obviously, what are your thoughts on that as well, before we go, yeah? Like, I'm going to ask you 2 more questions, this one, and obviously another one before we go, yeah? Okay. But, yeah, like, obviously, like, we know that, you said Tupac a couple of times, you said certain people, even Malcolm X, like, back in those days, we had people, you get me, like, back in those days, we had people who was willing to lose their life, aka sacrifice their life for the greater good, right? Yeah. Or for the people, right?
Yeah.
Why don't we have people in this generation who are willing to put their life on the line for the greater good, for their community, the people, whatever? Why?
Because they're not woke.
Because you know what? Nah, you know what it is? It's not even that. It's just the fact that we've been so desensitized by
niggas are not
every music video is out there.
Die.
And we've been so desensitized by the materialistic things that they've introduced to us, to the point where people in Congo are dying because of vibranium or some crap like that. Yeah, now we've all got this stuff that we put on our phones that's coming from vibranium or whatever.
You're making me feel bad.
You know what I mean? It's all good because we should all feel bad about that. You get me? Because people's lives are on the line for that. And on the line for that. And the thing is, children are dying over stuff like that. And then the thing is, we're not standing up for people like that? No? Those days are done now? Okay, then fine, let it be known then.
Do you think this is one of the most selfish generation of all time?
Of course, man.
For different reasons?
Yeah, I do believe so, because, back in the 90s, it wasn't like this. It wasn't like this. Everyone was caring, sharing. People was jolly. I don't know, but I do know. One thing I do know is that there's people who are the apostles of dark entities, and obviously they do come out there at night and they do pray and manifest darkness into our lives, you know what I mean? I saw one guy, he was talking about in the name of Satan, and you know what I mean, we was going back and forth because I was like, what, in the name of Satan? I'm like, no, in the name of Jesus, you get me? But it was just one of them ones where I just looked at it like, bruv, this guy was praying for destruction in people's families' home, churches, mosques, all of this stuff.
Was this like a random guy?
Yeah, this was a random guy. He was wearing like one of those Nazi signs, and this was a black guy, by the way. Yeah.
Going back to what we said earlier, not every black person is black inside.
That's what I'm saying. So, and get me. So it's one of them ones where, every black person is different. We're not the same. Just because we look the same doesn't mean we're the same.
Yeah.
So, and goes for also white people. Every white people's not the same.
Do you
get me?
Yeah. Do you think you're a good dad?
Yeah, I'm awesome.
And obviously, like different people have got different meanings of like, once again, like, what is a man? What is a good dad? Yeah. Like, man, what is your definition of a good dad?
Well, before we even say good dad, a father's supposed to be godlike. Yeah, so we have to have that godlike attributes in us, and characteristics. And if we're gonna we don't even need to say, oh, I'm a good dad, I'm a good mother. That's irrelevant. We ain't even gonna hear that. We're gonna see it by your actions anyway. We're gonna see how the children respond to all that care that you gave them from young up until their grown age. So you ain't even got to justify that you're a good father or mother. Man don't even need to hear that. You get me? I know I'm an awesome father, and I'll speak that into my life to exist for as long as it can live. My children know I'm an awesome father, and that's all that matters. And for all the fathers out there, you get me, and the mothers out there, you get me, do what you can, to, basically just equip your children with the most caring, tender love and nurturing and just that godlike energy in them, you know what I mean? Just be there, support their dreams and goals and whatnot. I know it's tough because what they try to do to our parents when they came over, you know what I mean? Yeah, go work, pay the bills. And then that's where people forget about what's going on in one's life. Sometimes you can't even check on the children. I had to get my stepdaughter out of school so that I can homeschool her with her mother, you know what I mean? And that was going well. She was learning a lot of things and whatnot. I was learning things that I was like, raw, you know what I mean? So it's a teachable moment for the both of us.
Yeah.
And whatnot.
I also feel like, sometimes when you're a good parent,
Yeah.
and you raise it, you raise your kid the best way you could be.
Yeah.
Like we say,
Yeah.
Mind you, again, the brain is like a computer, right?
Yeah.
Every single day, kids are growing up, especially when they start going on their phones, on social media, at school. This thing of you could be one of the best dads, one of the best mums in the world, raising your child with morals and all of these things. But your son or your daughter, they get to a certain age where they start fucking doing dumbness and they start basically doing some other shit, start following other shit, other people. And then obviously you as a parent, other people who might not know you, that you've done your best, you've done your part in terms of trying to raise them the right way, then certain people might try to turn around to you and look at you and call you like a bad dad or a bad mum, whatever. You see when that kind of situation happens, when, like I said, you've done whatever you could for your kids, but then your kids, for whatever reason, they end up doing whatever, who's to fucking blame? Society or your kids? Because it's not you. Do you understand? It's not you. Yeah. You played your part, whatever's happened, and then your child is flowing out into the real world. All of these things.
We can't blame anyone.
Yeah.
All we can do is just give it to the universe, because at the end of the day, your child is gonna grow up to be what he's supposed to be or what she's supposed to be.
Real talk.
So,
real rap.
Why we're not gonna control the destinies of our children. We can only equip them with the knowledge and nurture them with the caring and the love and the, the family orientated lifestyle that we can possibly provide.
And hope for the best.
Yeah, and hope for the best.
Yeah.
But as long as the child has all of that, you get me, then they can do whatever they want. Like John Gotti. John Gotti came from his family was actually quite wealthy. They were middle class, I think.
Yeah.
But he still chose to be a gangster. You know what I mean? And he was a successful gangster anyway.
Yeah.
That was his destiny. He made a name for himself. We wouldn't have known about John Gotti if the path that he was driven into, whether it was by his own soul or just influence, I don't know. But we wouldn't have known about him like that. So
yeah, because I just feel like obviously this is reality, right? I just feel like sometimes it's unfair when parents have done their part of raising a child, right?
Yeah.
And then the kid obviously grows up to be something else and whatever, and then the parents take the blame, that kid has got bad parents or whatever, you get me? And I feel like sometimes society, obviously people in society in different parts of the world, they still do that, but I feel like it's just not fair. Like
it's not fair because it's pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? First of all, it's pressure on the parents and whatnot. There's some people out there, they're looking at, for example, we're in the UK, United Kingdom, right? In London, right? So London, United Kingdom. Look, you got kids out there that are wearing ballies, yeah? But you as a grown adult, why are you pointing your fingers at the ones who's wearing a belly? What, they're not allowed to wear bellies? You know what I mean? When it was COVID, apparently we had to wear masks.
But that's COVID.
You get me? No, but that gave us now the opportunity to take advantage of wearing a mask.
Yeah.
You get me?
But
But now it's like,
what are kids wearing masks for now?
hey, people are wearing their masks for whatever reason. Some people don't want to show their faces. You get me? For whatever reason. You
that's
get me?
scary,
It doesn't have to be a bad reason. It could just be for a good reason. You know what I mean?
But it's scary, isn't it scary?
Well, nah, because you know what it is.
Yeah.
The more kids wear bellies, the more desensitized you're gonna get afterwards by just seeing people wearing bellies. I mean, it's gonna end up looking normal to you anyway.
I hear the logic.
You get me?
Yeah.
So it's one of them ones where why we make like, first of all, it's a trend right now. Yeah, that's for the kids. Yeah, but others that wear bellies who are grown adults and whatnot, I don't understand why they wear bellies, innit? You get me? But I know that if I'm gonna wear a belly, I'm wearing a belly to cover my face. I don't want people to see my face. Yeah. Maybe in that moment, maybe maybe I feel ashamed. Maybe I feel, I don't know. Maybe I feel, I don't know. Like I just don't want people to know who I am at the moment. I don't know, just for an example, innit?
Yeah,
you get me? Or I might just be on some crud, who knows? You get me?
That's what I'm saying.
Who knows? We don't know.
Only God knows.
You get only God knows. But I'm not going to be the one to point the finger and say, oh, you know what, you parents, because sometimes it's not the parents. The parents are good parents. And sometimes you got bad parents. But the parents are good parents and their youths are just going to do crazy things. When we was young, we did things behind our parents' back where they did not know that we was doing certain things. We was carrying certain things. Now we're older, we're fully aware that, you know what, we're gonna have children one day, or we have children, and our children are gonna they might end up doing similar things to us. Who knows? And we don't want them doing similar things. We just want them to live a full, enjoyable life as much as possible.
As much as possible, bro.
Yeah.
Like before we go, yeah. Like how does 2024, the rest of 2024, look for you, and what should people look out for in terms of obviously maybe things that you're doing, something that you're working on, what should people is there anything people should look out for?
You know what, 2024 is a year to regain back my power, my own personal power, and take control of my life. And obviously I am creating certain things that's in the process, and I just hope to aspire to inspire others out there and encourage and empower people who's gonna listen to those musics, the movies I might make, the films I will be creating, and I will be creating more music. Yes. I will be creating, organizing shows as well and whatnot. So yeah, we still got. It's looking good and positive, but at the same time it was 50-50, because obviously where I was going through my own situation, it's like I'm just building back up again, you know what I mean? Some people don't understand what I'm going through, and I'm not telling everyone what I'm going through, you know what I mean? I don't want people to know what I'm going through, because it's none of their business, because I don't know who's going to gossip and chat, because the one who gossip and chat, obviously karma comes back and bite them in the ass.
It's true.
You know what I mean? But it's just the fact that as long as 2024 is a year for all of us to prosper in a positive light. However, you got to do the works, obviously. You know what I mean? Nothing's going to be handed to you for free. Obviously, you got to put in the work. You got to grind and whatnot. And sometimes it's not just grinding for money. Sometimes you got to grind just for your own spiritual purposes as well. You know what I mean? Just fulfill that dream that's in your mind, you know what I mean? Start from wherever you have. Get me? Whatever you got, utilize what you got and just do what you can, because I'm trying to do what I can as well. And yeah, by next year you'll see everything.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Bro, we love to hear it, man.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for coming on to the Red Chair.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure, man. It's been a very, very powerful conversation. You get me? And we see you in the very near future, bro. Yeah, you've been such a fucking great guest on the Red Chair, man.
Hey,
my bro,
well, man.
Majesty.
Yes.
Keep shining, my brother. Yeah.
Hey, follow me as
Big
I follow
love,
he who is Majesty.
Come on.
Right.
Big love, my brother. Yeah.
Absolutely, love.
Big love. God bless you, my bro. Yeah. Come on.